have some great announcements to make at the end of the presentation, at the end of the session. So my request to everybody is that you need to stay till the end. I have brought in some great opportunities for you guys to build your profile, absolutely free of cost. It will not only help you to build an awesome profile, but also you will be able to position yourself to the best of the universities. I have a surprise element today. I will be joined by a few of my dearest students, and I'll be introducing them to you. These students will not only share their best practices, but will also have a message for all of you out there. I also will be joined by a very dear friend of mine, a very senior educational professional, Anjalis. She is the international recruitment specialist for one of the finest universities across the world, and definitely in Canada, Huron at Western. And Anjali will be right here answering some of my difficult questions for all of you. She will also be asked questions about scholarships and how to apply and how to position yourself for top-notch universities like Huron. So just sit tight, just 2 more minutes. I'm waiting for time to show me 12:05, and I will be live. Great to see you, Palak. It seems that you're my biggest fan. You are always there to support me. Thank you so very much for joining in. We are way above 200 already, very slowly inching towards 250. So wait on. You will have to wait till the last slide, because the last slide is, in my presentation has 2 awesome, opportunities for profile building. If parents are listening, my request to you is bring your kids along. This is that hour that you do not want to miss. And if kids are listening to me, my request to you is ask your parents to join you, because in this session, there'll be some phenomenal learning. There'll be 2 opportunities which will allow you to participate in great competitions and internships, win amazing prizes, and build profile, because we all know that all the universities across the world focus heavily on your holistic development, focus heavily on profile. Yes, Shiva Prasad, you will not be able to speak because it's a webinar format, but you can definitely put your questions in the Q&A, and I will definitely try and answer them. We are live on Facebook as well. So some of you who do not have access, or your friends do not have access to this webinar, please tell them to search High School Moms on Facebook, and we are definitely live there. Rather, we are live on 10 different Facebook pages and groups. As of now, the Facebook audience is showing way above 300, and we are also slowly inching towards 300 in the Zoom. Harshit, how can you get personal counseling from me? You'll have to get in touch with my team. I will definitely float a form during the course of this webinar. If you are interested, you can fill it up and my team will get in touch with you. All right, so once for my satisfaction, quickly in the chat, type in a yes, Y-E-S, type in a yay, Y-A-Y, type in if you are able to listen to me, type in if you're interested in today's session. Do not let the chat stop. I want to see everything. So whoever is typing in the running letters, let's do it once again. Stop right there. Give me a big Y-A-Y. Give me a yay in capital letters. Do not worry. Just show me Y-A-Y in capital letters. Let it not stop. Let everybody understand here that you are really excited for this session today, and you really want to make a difference to your own life, your parents' life, and the country at large. Super. Thank you. Thank you, guys. This is super phenomenal. And I think we are about time to start, and you will be able to see me on your screens in 3, 2, 1, and go. Hi, good morning, everybody. Let's hear some good morning in the chat also. Super, super, super. All right, I have some very dear students of mine, and I'll one by one I'll introduce them to you, and I will request them to start their cameras. You can keep your mics on mute, the students, and Anjali, this is for you as well. But Archita Goyal, a student of mine, about to step into IBDP2, which is grade 12. Archita, if you're listening to me, can I have you on the camera? Aditya Mehta, a senior, he is a grade 12 student. Congratulations, Aditya. You have just made it to Nottingham University. You have a confirmed offer letter from Flame. So if you're listening to me, get your camera on. Anjali, if I can request you to have your camera on. And now I have Disha Pruthi. Disha is again a senior. She has offer letter and scholarship from University of Toronto, Scarborough campus. So Disha, if you're listening to me, you guys can safely start your cameras at your own convenience.
Hi Abhishek, but my camera has been disabled by the host.
So and I'm the host.
And you're the host.
So I'm supposed to give you the co-host rights. Okay, there you go. And Aditya, there you go. Archita, there you go. I was wondering why you guys not starting your cameras. All right, there you go. I can see a beautiful young girl, Archita Goyal, a very smart chap, Aditya Mehta, and that's my sweetest student. She just had her birthday, and she sent me a very dear message after my video message to her, Disha Pruthi. So ladies and gentlemen, that's Disha Pruthi, Aditya Mehta, Archita Goyal, and Anjali Anand Seth on your screen right now. Three of them have been my dearest students. We are very close to 300, 299 in the Zoom, and 300 it is, and we are way above 1,000 on Facebook. This is going crazy. All right, so there am I. Let's see, let me just quickly share my screen. Okay. Chat. I need to see the chat. Okay. Super awesome. Okay. So let me just start by asking some questions to my dearest students. Disha, will start with you. My first question to you is that it's always very difficult for a high school student to manage academics, to manage extracurriculars, and still enjoy life, enjoy all the passions in the world. How do you manage to do that? What is your secret recipe that you also have a scholarship from University of Toronto? And you are, I think, the vice president of your student council, if I'm correct, and in school. Okay, she is from DPS Gurgaon, ladies and gentlemen. And you are super awesome in academics. How do you manage to do that, Disha?
It's about time management. So you don't want to spend the entire time just studying or just into your extracurriculars that would compromise the scores. I make a planner. I like to organize things by making to-do lists, and I prioritize work. So according to deadlines, it just keeps going.
So why didn't you teach me all that? I possibly have been working with you very closely.
You taught me all that.
You and me go on for crazy half an hour, 45 minutes of long phone calls. And you never taught me how to manage time well, because I'm really bad at it.
But I learned this from you, so.
All right. So that's Disha Pruthi. We'll come back to you, Disha. And before we go to Archita, let me just set the agenda right. Anjali, I would request, I understand your time is very precious, but I would request, because we'll take the students first and then you and me. So, ladies and gentlemen, the agenda for today is that I can see a lot of you from joining us from across the country, and all of you are here on a winter Sunday morning, which means that you guys are very, very serious about your career. You guys are serious about your child's career, if you are joining in. I definitely want to take this opportunity to help you guys plan 2021 really well for you. And this is important because if we do not plan, like Disha said, that time management, planning, all these are very, very critical to be a successful student, 3 students on your screen, they are very successful. According to me, they are far more successful than I am, because at their age, I could not even dream or think or even wonder of managing so many things at a time. So, so that's the agenda for the today. Before I go to Archita and ask a couple of more questions, I also want to take this time to help you understand that 2020, all of us, we have already heard it enough that the world has changed, the technology curve has really gone high, and things are definitely not the same. Will the world ever come back to normal? The answer is possibly a yes, maybe a little differently. However, the world has changed forever. It has definitely changed forever. The digital interactions will always remain high. Who thought that on a Sunday morning, Abhishek Gupta will be able to reach Kannur and Hisar and Ahmedabad and Bangalore and Mumbai and Pune and Kolkata and Assam all at the same time? And there'll be 300, 400 of you listening to me on the Zoom, and thousands of you listening to me on the Facebook. So digital interactions will always and always remain high. For people like Anjali and me who have been so used to traveling, our travel budgets have come down drastically. And because of that, we are able to spend money on things that matter, right? So digital interactions are going to be super high. Hospitality, travel, and tourism will change forever. I'm not saying that people will not travel. I'm definitely not saying that people will not fly. They will definitely travel. Rather, there is a new terminology which has come up nowadays, which is called revenge travel. So if you have been stuck in home for 10, 12 months, you are just finding out a reason of a reason to travel and to take a vacation inside your own city as well. A new terminology that I came up with in recent months is called staycation. And I was like, what the heck is this? And it means that you check into a hotel in your own city and stay there, right? And Anjali just did that, a couple of weeks back with her daughter. All right, so hospitality, travel, and tourism will change. Marks are here to stay. An industry which was not recognized is about a $90 billion industry today. People who are producing masks, they have become millionaires and trillionaires overnight just by manufacturing masks. People will travel, but travel industry will see a lot of change. There are additional costs. So when I travel, I was recently traveling to Mumbai and Pune. I was staying in a hotel called JW Marriott at Juhu. And imagine that before the room is handed over to you, it is completely sanitized. So there is a sanitization cost. The moment you enter the hotel, the moment you enter your room, there is a sanitizer kept. There are sanitizing wipes kept. All of this costs. So the cost to hospitality and travel industry will go up. When you take a flight, I was recently flying to Mumbai when, I was asked at the airport to wear a face shield and wear a face mask, and they are giving you a small bottle of sanitizer to sit in the flight. Now, and if you are the middle seat and if you're traveling economy, then you need to wear that PPE kit, and all of these are one-time use. You dump it. So these are additional costs which travel industry is going to bear. Real estate will never be the same again. Work from home is the new normal, and it is here to stay. All non-critical business roles will always remain work from home in the near future, because imagine, companies are not paying for the rentals, they are not paying for the electricity, they are not paying for the internet, they are definitely not paying for your coffee and the toilet tissue papers that you use. So there is too much of a saving, and apart from that, there is a rental cost for every seat that you occupy in that real estate when you go to office. There is a manpower cost, there is employee welfare cost. So many costs get saved. So all the non-critical roles will actually be always work from home. Education has changed. Who thought that you and me will take SAT classes, to IIT preparation, to yoga classes, to art classes, to school on internet? We were never aware of this. We never knew that our Hindi teacher could actually manage to handle a Zoom. It was really funny when I saw kids like Aditya, Disha, and Archita, and chunk loads of others, 1.6 billion kids across the world were stuck inside home, taking classes. And they were the ones who were actually the teachers, and the teachers were the students, because when the teachers got stuck, ये Zoom काम नहीं कर रहा है, मेरा mic access नहीं हो रहा है, मेरा camera नहीं चल रहा है, my PPT is stuck. All these students used to come together in hand holding the teacher. So the teacher was the student and the student was the teacher. And this has happened only in 2020. So education from the complete brick education, which was there from the ashram age till today, the traditional education will now always be click, brick, click. Yes, we will see schools reopening. We will definitely see universities reopening, and students are raring to go. I know Disha, Aditya, both of them are raring to go to college. Enough of being under 4 watchful eyes of the parents and stuck at home. Enough of that. They're raring to go to college, but a component will always remain online. Change in medicine. So some of you who want to be doctors or who want to be in the field of medicine, oh my God, I suffered from COVID. Okay. And for the first time, I realized that my doctor refused to see me. I mean, you book an appointment with your doctor and the receptionist says, I hope you're not suffering from cold, cough, or fever. If you are, you cannot come to the clinic. You have to take telemedicine. Imagine a country where telemedicine norms were not laid out. Within a span of 3 months, government had to lay out the norms of telemedicine. And today we have full-fledged rules governing telemedicine. So medicine has changed. So now for a simple fever or now for a simple hypertension readjustment of dose, possibly you will never go because doctors are also enjoying it. You know, in a span where they used to see about 30 patients, now they're able to see 40, 50 of them. Because when you are on a telemedicine call, the call will last for 10 minutes. No unnecessary questions and no unnecessary answers. Businesses have shut down. There will be a time very soon, or there is already a time now, when we have started saying, यहाँ पे मेरा favorite restaurant होता था, यहाँ पे मेरा favorite hotel होता था, right? So there are so many businesses which are going to shut down and new businesses will come up. And that's crazy. New careers will emerge while some of the old careers will become history. And that's why it is important for all of us to understand today's session really well. But definitely, like I said, there is a ray of hope. Vaccine is around the corner. So world will come back to normal. We have started traveling. You will also start moving out. Just that it'll be a little different. It'll be different because even in the schools, you will be asked to keep a 6 feet distance. It'll be different because you'll be wearing masks in the schools. It'll be different because you will not be allowed to hug your best friend inside the school premises for sure. So world will definitely be looked a little differently, but it will slowly and steadily come back to normal. While the world is coming back to normal, the world order is changing. All of a sudden, the best of the countries in the world are facing the threat, and countries like India are rising. I want to show you an image which was posted by Brazilian Prime Minister yesterday, and it will speak volumes. This was the image posted by Brazilian Prime Minister on his Twitter account yesterday, where he said that Sankat Mochan Hanuman is carrying the Sanjeevani booty, which is Covaxin, the COVID vaccine, all the way to Brazil. And he is thanking India for being the Sankat Mochan for Brazil. Imagine the clout of India. We have promised the world that while we will vaccinate and save our population, we will try and help all the poor countries and all the developing nations. This great country, you and me belong to. And that's the reason why 2021 belongs to you and me. And that's the reason why we need to make the best of not only this session today, the best of what Archita Goyal says, the best of what Aditya Mehta says, the best of what Disha Pruthi will share, and the best that will come from Anjali Anand Seth from Huron at Western. We really need to put our hearts and brains to it and make an action plan. Okay, so before we go into what you should do in 2021, my question to Archita. Archita,
Yes,
every career counselor keeps on beating around the bush, and so do I. every time you talk to me, and I remember you and me had a call, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, where even after 2 years of you constantly following me, I was telling Anjali in the morning today that there's a student of mine, and it seems she's my biggest fan because she does not miss out anything that I do, and that's Archita Goel. All right. Now, how do you manage? You are an amazing photographer. I know you have an Instagram handle. It's called what? Mirak by Archita?
Yeah.
Mirak by Archita. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to support my student. All of you who are listening to me on Facebook, all of you who are listening to me on Zoom, go out there on your Instagram and follow Mirak by Archita right now and support her photography. So she's a great photographer, a super awesome student. She is highly dedicated. And her last question to me 2 days back, and Archita, you have to pardon me if that was too personal, but I'm going to share it, and I can fight with you offline after this session. Her last question to me was, sir, I definitely want to pursue my passion, but I do not want to give up my studies. Is there a way that I can study economics with photography? And we started working out various ways and mechanisms by which Archita can actually study economics with photography. Archita, how do you manage to do that, beta?
How do I manage to
manage passion with academics?
Okay, now that's a very good question. So I will tell you a little bit about myself. So I am the kind of kid who has to try new things. Like, I cannot possibly just sit at one place and keep doing the same thing every day. So I'm into dance, I'm into sports, but if there's one thing that I live for, as I also said, it's photography. So and I think the way to balance my academics with my passion is doing what you love. I think that's the key. So unless you really enjoy what you're doing, there's no way, there's no way ahead. So I think one key thing that I would want to say here is you also have to enjoy what you're studying, because studies have become such an important part of like all this, like everyone's life, right? So it's really important to enjoy what you're doing. So being able to balance your academics with your passion, you have to be able to prioritize your work. So I think I've learned this from Abhishek sir. Studies is not everything. Your extracurriculars are as important as your work. So you have to be able to do both. So if I'm told to like sit 24 hours a day and just study, it's not going to work out for me because there's so much more that I want to do. So I think so you have to balance your academics with your passion. You have to be able to prioritize your work. You have to find things that make you fall in love with being alive. Because once you do, you'll actually be happy doing what you do. And I think life will just be so much better.
That makes you feel alive. Are you sure you are a 15, 16-year-old girl? I mean, what are you talking? You're making me feel as if I'm talking to a person who understands life inside out. All right. My question to Aditya Mehta before we actually start deep diving into the roadmap, and then I will individually take, and after that, we'll have to go to Anjali when we are doing the planning as well, because with her experience, we also want to motivate everybody who has joined in from grade 9 to grade 12 on what universities want to see in students. So Anjali, my next question to you would be actually what essentially universities want to see in a student when you recruit a student, when you admit a student, both for admissions as well as for scholarships. So if you can, just frame your thoughts around it, and then we will try and relate our balance of our presentation and integrate what Aditya, Disha, and Archita said with whatever you will say. Aditya, my question to you is, beta, you and me have been working for almost 2 years in tandem. You and me still, possibly every week share a message or two. You are very close to your, board examinations in the month of May and June. You're already sitting on a confirmed offer letter from Flame University. Yesterday, you told me you got an offer from University of Nottingham. What do you think is the importance? Because I want you to motivate the other kids to plan their career, whether with a career counselor or without a career counselor. So, but planning career is important. How do you think in last 2 years, a career counselor helped you, or the entire planning exercise helped you? And is it necessary? Is it even important, or you can do it without planning?
I think that's a great question to be asked, sir. And to start off, I would just like to say I cannot stress this enough, but planning your career and having a career counselor is absolutely quintessential in this time we're living in. So, sir, like you said, how does it feel like to sit on an offer right before your board exams? First of all, it feels great. It feels absolutely great because there's a huge misconception about people thinking, "Acha, hum to boards ke baad colleges ka dekh lenge." Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to let the marks of your boards decide the fate of what college you're going to go into? If you start early, like Abhishek sir and I have been associated right about when my 10th grade ended, the beginning of 2019. And when I came to Abhishek sir, I was a hugely misguided kid because I thought I knew everything and I absolutely did not. And then sir like guided me step by step as to what is important and what is not. First of all, having a career counselor is important because at times you hear a lot from other people. You hear from a relative, see beta, this college is good. You hear from a parent, say beta, you will do engineering or whatnot. So having a career counselor is like having a third parent, but in the direction of career counseling or college counseling. What is very necessary is that not a lot of schools, the schools only teach you to get past your boards, to get past your IBDP2, to get past the final exam you must give in your school. However, a career counselor is important because it tells you what to do exactly after. So, like sir said, I think it's absolutely essential to have a career counselor because it not only helps you, it also guides you in a direction that would decide the fate of your future.
Okay, so I understand that, Aditya. Anjali, I want to come to you before we do one more round with each of these kids. Uh, and after you, I want to take the entire janta which is listening to me, and thank you guys for joining me on a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. Actually, it really makes me feel alive, like Archita said, because this is my passion. And you know, I can't thank all these four people on the screen right now: Disha, Aditya, Archita, and Anjali. You know, the kind of relations I have built with these kids, some of them, okay, let me put it this way. Disha and Aditya have an interview and a test today of one of the leading universities I'm not going to name, but they have an entrance and admission test today. And the only thing that they said to me was, sir, we can delay it, but we are coming. And you know, you can't. I mean, I feel so blessed to have you, Disha and Aditya. Thank you so very much, guys. Thank you, Archita, for taking out your precious time to speak to people. But it's important because, you know, we really want to change the next generation. And every time they listen to me, possibly I get repetitive. And when they listen from you guys, it becomes, like Archita said, the words come alive. So Anjali, my question to you is, before I help the kids in giving them nuances on how to plan their career well, can you tell me, for example, Aditya and Disha are already sitting on their offer letters. For Archita, right? She is going to apply this year to college, right? As the person who accepts less applications and rejects more, right? What will you want to see in Archita, or what you would want to see in any student for that matter before you give them an admission?
Thank you for your question, and great panel. It's so inspirational to listen to these kids, and you're right, makes me feel as if I've done nothing in my life, you know, when I listen to everything that they've achieved. And I will definitely follow your Instagram page. I'm intrigued to see what a 17-year-old can, you know, put in a frame. Coming back to your question, so a lot of times students and parents ask this question, and I think what they forget is a term called profile. You know, a lot of people concentrate more on the marks that they're getting inside the classroom, and what they forget, what they need is a good balance between what happens outside the classroom too. So a good balance between academic and co-curricular becomes very important. Yes, your marks will be the primary factor which will get you in a university, but what I'm looking at is an overall profile. So a student who has broad-based extracurricular activities, you know, they've done, and it's not just about a designation that they're getting at school, that I'm the head boy, I'm the captain, etc. I like students who are also part of a team. So those kind of students. So demonstrate your co-curricular as well as your academic. Academic we will get from your predicted scores. That's where we are going to give you marks. But in case there is a student who has not particularly done very well in academic, we are still looking at your co-curricular profile. So build that too. And of course, you can take those additional tests, just to balance out what you missed out in your academic during examination. More important is, I think, a student who has shown us leadership skills. Now, leadership skills does not necessarily mean, being out there in the forefront, leading a team. Leadership skills could also be exhibited if you are a team player. You've helped out people, you've helped out your peers, you've helped out your colleagues at school otherwise. So an overall profile. Participate in as many co-curriculars as you can. Grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and even grade 12. Why should you miss out on co-curriculars or building your profile in grade 12? So those are the kind of students that I'm looking at. I'm not looking at just their success stories. I'm also looking at their stories which made them learn, because there was not a success, but yes, there was a failure. I don't like using the word failure because there's nothing in life called failure. You just learn better. A kid once told me, and believe me, this is a 10-year-old kid from an IB school. I asked him, I said, define failure. He says, failure is the start of new opportunities. And I was completely blown away. This is like a 10-year-old kid that I was interacting with when I was visiting a school in Hyderabad. So take it like that and build your overall profile, academic as well as co-curricular. That's what I'm looking at.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Anjali Anand Seth from one of the finest universities in the world, a very selective university. They only pick up about 1,300 students. From India, they might not pick up more than 40, 50, 60, maybe at the max. And they handpick each and every student. They allow the child to tailor make and customize their own education. You can study what you want to study. And I am definitely going to ask Anjali, because they have a scholarship called International President Scholarship at Huron, which is nothing less than 100,000 Canadian dollars. And every year, 3 students from India definitely get it. 3 or 2, I don't know. Anjali, you can correct me later on. But every year, students from India definitely get it. All right, guys, Disha, Aditya, and Archita, please hold on with me. I have one more round of questions left for you. And you guys are not only inspiration, but a role model for so many of us. Not only just the students, but for us as parents too. So please do hold on. Now coming back to, okay, before we go into the planning for 2021, for all of you who are listening to me, once again, I'd like to make an announcement. I have 2 great opportunities for all of you out there, absolutely free of cost, so that your children can make that great profile which universities like Huron or the other top league universities are looking at, which international recruitment admissions advisors or specialists like Anjali are looking at, which Archita, Aditya, and Disha Pruthi kind of students are following and doing in their regular day-to-day life. I have 2 opportunities for all the kids out there who are listening to me and for all the parents for your children. So please hold on. It will be at the last of the presentation, because I know the moment I disclose it, you're not going to stay back and listen to me. I am that boring. So I am not going to share that till the time I'm at the end of my presentation. Okay. Now, there are basically 4 areas where your children, my children, and kids, if you're listening to me, your energies are scattered, right? One is your academic life. School mein number lana hai. I really need to score well. The problem is, when I was in grade 9, mom said that if you don't score well in grade 9, your career will go for a toss. When I came into grade 10, Papa said, this is the most important year of your life. You really need to score well in your boards. Otherwise, your career will go for a toss. The moment I came into grade 11, this new gentleman called Abhishek Gupta entered my life, and he said, oh my God, your predictive scores will be dependent on grade 11 finals. So do not let them go for a toss. So I had no other option but focus on academics. And the moment I come into 12th, then my parents come back again and say, beta boards hai, padh lo, jeevan bhar kaam aayega. Right? Now, as a student, I don't even know when to take them seriously and when not to, because every year, if it was so critical for my life, then which year was actually most critical? So I understand that. And then comes the profile and interest. And there is a student like Disha, Aditya, Archita, who come and say, oh my God, we are doing so much. And all of a sudden, people like you and me, and I'm counting myself in because I mean, I don't even think ये तीनों मिला करके जो कर रहे हैं, वो मैं कभी 10 साल में भी कर सकूंगा. So people like you and me, we are overwhelmed. I mean, how the hell do you manage to do all that, guys? And still, then people like Anjali will come who are the so-called decision maker in admissions, and they will say, we are interested in seeing the real you. We want to go beyond the marks, and they're not lying because that's what universities are looking at. So profile and interest become important. Passions become important, like Archita has in terms of photography, and she's following her passion along with academics. Third area, career planning. So, what is that age? What is that class when I should actually take Aditya seriously? He went in grade 10. Is that the right time? Or Archita came to me in grade 9. Is that the right time? Or Disha came to me in the fag end of grade 10. Is that the right time? I don't know, but I need to figure it out. And then finally is the college planning. 2 of these students are already on their way to college. So they have done it right. We will take their inputs. What did they do right? So that they ended up with these offer letters much before their grade 12 final exams. We'll definitely ask them. So these are the 4 elements. Grade 9 students. Let me make it simple for you. आप लास्ट के 2 भूल जाइए. पहले के 2 पे focus करिए. Academics and profile and interest. Grade 9 possibly is not the time to start worrying about career planning. If you are aware, nothing better than that. But if you are unaware, take a chill pill, relax, look up and say, big deal. Simple. It is not important that you and me should be aware in grade 9 what I want to be in life. But what is important is, am I developing my skill sets in such a manner that whatever I want to do in life, I will be able to take it head on and I will become a leader in whatever I want to do in life. So am I learning the 21st century skills? Am I learning the communication skills? If I want to be a techie, am I learning some amount of coding? If I want to be in public relations, am I learning networking? So it is very important to build your profile and interests. Academics, yes, please focus because most of the universities will definitely want to see your scores from grade 9 and upward. So focus on your academics. Grade 10. Apart from academic and profile and following your interests, and I know you do not know this big gray area of this word which Disha said, Aditya said, Archita said, Anjali said, and now I am saying, how the hell do I make my profile? I'll solve it. I'll solve it for you in my last slide. Do not worry. But grade 10 is the right time when Aditya came to me or Disha came to me and wanted to explore the career. They wanted to explore. They wanted to know what all is there for me. So for example, for Aditya, it is media and communications. But for Disha, it is economics, maybe psychology, maybe combining economics and psychology. For Archita, it could be combining economics with photography. All 3 of them have different trajectories. These are 3 different souls. They have different passions, different interests. 5 उंगलियां एक बराबर नहीं होती हैं. So सबको अपने लिए एक खुद career explore करना होता है. And that's where the grade 10 comes into picture. Grade 11 adds another element, which is while you are engaging in grade 11, you are exploring careers. मैं ये कर सकता हूं या मैं ये कर सकता हूं. Can I do this or can I do that? Can I go for X or can I go for Y? Can I combine X and Y? Right? Grade 11 is a great time to start engagement with these careers. So it's a great time to do some summer programs. It's a great time to do some internships. It's a great time to write some research reports, right? So you start exploring. And let's say if in case of Disha, we would have started with that Disha should be a psychologist and she would have been very convinced in grade 10. But in grade 11, hypothetically, we made Disha go through a internship under a psychologist. And Disha says, oh my God, sir, I really do not like it. This is so boring. We know that it is not working for her. So internship is not always supposed to be done only in the field you want to go. It can also signify to a university that I tried internship and that's why I don't want to study psychology. And it's a very calculated decision. It was not an emotional decision that I chose economics over psychology. And I'm sure Anjali, would you like a student like this who says that I have done an internship in psychology, but I do not like psychology because after internship I realized I do not like psychology and now I want to go for economics. Do you think this story sells with the university? Because personally I think it does.
Yes, of course. I mean, pick up a subject, pick up a program that you enjoy studying rather than what you think will make you employable. That's most important. If you do well in the program because it's it's something that you understand and you like and you think that you can get a career in it, think long term, not just passing those 4 years. Think long term, because your college education would become an important element in where you get employed later. So go world's your oyster. Pick up a course, liberal arts education, and make it interdisciplinary. In fact, pick up both psychology and economics. Why not? Uh, I'm interested in this kind of student who's open to ideas.
You just took away my next couple of slides, Anjali. So
okay, sorry.
You just took them away. All right. So grade 11 is also a great time, ladies and gentlemen, to start doing your college research, right? I'm sure Disha, Aditya have not made it to their colleges without researching. They would have researched. They would have wondered. They would have discussed with their family. They would have discussed with me a crazy number of times. And honestly speaking, even when they were discussing with me, at times I even didn't have an answer, and Aditya knows it. Disha knows it. It was a very, it was a discussion which took months at times, and we kept on hanging on to it before we finally made a plan. Grade 12, for those, okay, this is that great year when we actually have two grade 12s. Right after February, all 11th will go into grade 12, and Aditya and Disha will still be in grade 12, right? So the juniors will become seniors and seniors will still remain seniors. So this is that great year when India will see two grade 12s studying at the same time, because until unless they actually do their boards, they will not be technically called high school graduates. So grade 12, for people who will be entering grade 12 this year, your college research should ideally continue. Your profile building should ideally continue. But this is the time now from exploration of career, you went to engagement of career. Now is the time when you identify your career. Now you identify, I want to be in media and mass communications because I'm Aditya Mehta. I have these sets of traits. This is what I like. I am great, an eloquent speaker. I am very versatile. I know how to command a team. I was almost on the verge of organizing a TEDx in my school. Because of COVID, I could not. But I have those qualities to build it up, right? So career identification is very, very critical for those who are now stepping into grade 12. And your college research should also have started by now. Who are now passing out of grade 12, time is running out. Now is the time that before boards, like Aditya said, that he doesn't understand. Why would you want to wait for your boards to get over before taking a call which college you want to go? Because look at the confidence of Disha and Aditya, that they are sitting on confirmed offer letters today, and they are and yet they are working for their board examinations, but without pressure. So it's, for me, it is like, and correct me, Disha, if it's true, if it is not true, I want you to jump in here. How does it feel, Disha, to have offer letters before your board exams? Isn't it like a feeling where you're actually going for a practice match instead of the actual match? You still don't want to get out. You want to score as high as possible, but there's no pressure on you. Is that true?
That is completely true. It is the best feeling. I know I don't have to, be stuck with my books, and there's no added pressure that if I don't do well, I won't have anything in future. My future is over. There's no added pressure, and I can go and relax and give my best shot at it. So I'm relaxed and I'm doing it at my pace. So I'm good.
Okay. What about you, Aditya? You were telling something around this. What about you? Do you think you are relieved of the pressure, or is it still boiling on your head? Because I don't want students to take pressure of boards. It's like criminal. Why would you take pressure for something which is inevitable?
Absolutely. So I think I agree with you. And the sure, having one thing off of your plate actually helps a lot, because Until about a month and a half ago, when I did not have my offer, I was like, oh God, I have to wait for my offer letters, I have to work for my colleges, and I have to work for my pre-boards 2, board examinations, and whatnot. So having one thing off your plate does absolutely help. It relieves you of that mental pressure that is not talked about a lot.
Wonderful. So mental pressure, ladies and gentlemen, we rarely focus on the emotional and mental health of these young kids. We really need to understand they are also humans. Just because they are chirpy all the time, just because they are on their mobile, just because they are talking to friends, does not mean they do not carry pressure. They carry much more pressure than we do. If we are asked to imagine, हम दिन में एक जॉब करते हैं, mothers, you are phenomenal. You manage home, you manage families. At times you are also a working mom. But people like us, हम काम करके थक जाते हैं. हम उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं करते. Look at these kids. They are doing academics. The moment they come back from school, they have their tuition classes or extra tutorials. The moment that is finished, they want to attend SAT classes with Abhishek Gupta. That is over because, see, Anjali said right now that though Canada does not need SAT, but look at the subtle thing that she said, that if you give these standardized tests, in case if your academics are low, we might give value to it. Now you need to understand, when we give these standardized scores, even to UK or Canada or Singapore, anywhere in the world. So if you write the SAT, you help your cause. If you write the SAT, you apply to 36 universities in India without taking their entrance. You do not have to apply, you do not have to take their entrances, and you end up sitting on a confirmed offer letter. Now, they have to prepare for their SATs, they have to do their guitar classes, extracurriculars. These kids do much more than us, and that's why it is very critical for us as parents to focus on their mental and emotional health. And I want to reiterate it, if I have not made it clear, please focus on your child's mental and emotional health. These are the future. We cannot take their emotional health and mental health for granted. All right, so that was for grade 12. Now, but before you start your planning, please remember what Anjali said. Future is interdisciplinary. She so beautifully coined it for Disha that, why to study only psychology or why to study only economics? Why can't we combine both of them? Right? Today is the time where interdisciplinary work is the norm. There are degrees where you can study engineering with humanities. There are degrees where you can study computer science with business. There are degrees where you can study history with biology. There are degrees where you can study biology with art, which is called biological art. There are degrees where you can study psychology with economics. So this is super awesome. There are degrees where you can study media and communications and still do visual arts. So future is very, very interdisciplinary, and you really need to keep that in mind. So what kind of a degree or qualification will make you successful in future? A degree or a qualification that will make you successful in future should have some of these. Should definitely have some of these. You should be able to customize your degree. You should be able to choose from 100, 200, 90, 50, whatever options that university gives. You should be able to make your own degree. You should not go for a qualification which is on. So that's where I say that I hate traditional programs now. I hate the programs like BBA. I hate the programs like simple BCom. These are so traditional in nature that, I generally say that, these are 18th century curriculum taught by 19th century teachers to the kids who were born in 21st century, right? So these are very traditional, and you should think beyond them. You should also think of a degree which allows you to take a major and a minor. Very important. ताकि आप दो चीजों को कंबाइन कर सको. अगर आप दो मेजर्स एक साथ नहीं पढ़ सकते because वो एक्स्ट्रा वर्कलोड हो जाएगा, you should definitely look into a degree which will allow you to take a major and a minor. The examples that I gave you was you can do engineering with liberal arts, you can do biology with psychology, you can do psychology with economics, you can do social studies with international studies, you can do law with international studies, English with cultural studies. For Aditya, there is a possibility where you can also think about doing English with cultural studies and also study media and communication. All right. So these are the kind of things that you need to keep in mind. before you choose your degree. Now, like they said, we will go on to the standardized test, but here I want to jump into, and we are in the last 10 minutes of our session. So, Archita, I want to understand from you, what are those 2 or 3 things that you would definitely want parents to understand, not just students? Will you be able to share something that you would want your parents to understand, when it comes to college and career planning better?
Okay, I can give a general answer to this because, okay, if there's one reason why I'm enjoying this whole college process is because my parents are super supportive with it. So I think I've got 3 guiding people with me right now, my parents and Abhishek sir. And the only thing they tell me is do whatever you want to do and we'll support you. Do whatever you want to do to the time it makes you happy. And I think that's the most important thing, because I have heard a lot of people talk about, how they want their kids to be a doctor or an engineer. It's a very cliche thing in India. And I don't think that's the end of the world. Like, I want to do photography. I want to study economics. And my parents are okay with that because it makes me happy, right? A few things that I think people should start understanding is that, okay, as you said, mental health, right? It's really important. I think this pandemic has made everyone realize that you don't know what your future holds. So if you're able to make the most of the time out of the time you have, you will be happy, right? So it is important for people to understand that you cannot force your opinions on others. So this is, I mean, hearing what Aditya and Disha want to do, it's so interesting. Like, one wants to do, mass media, and the other was thinking about psychology initially. So there are so many options, and you should be able to explore whatever you want. And I think this one thing that so I find psychology very interesting too. So I was reading this thing about, how when you tell yourself that you're going to do things without thinking of the opinion other people would have of it, you will actually start living life. Because we all are so consumed by, what others would think, what society would think, that we tend to lose half of our opportunities. So the moment you decide that, what, this is good for me and I'm going to do it, you have actually achieved everything that you can possibly achieve.
I so agree with you, Archita. This is so like my story. When I was the national head sales with an American multinational, when I thought that I am not enjoying it, and I was at the peak of my career, earning a 7-figure salary, enjoying my life out of a suitcase, and all of a sudden I decided to become a career coach. And my dad told me, what does it mean to be a career coach? And is it even a career? And will you be able to even earn money? And it's just pure passion that today, people love me. They join my lives. They come on my webinars. Students like you support me. I don't think I would have been able to do it without my passion and support from your side. So I so understand that. Stop thinking what the world will talk about you. Start thinking what interests you. The day your work becomes your passion, you will not feel it as work. And that's the day you will arrive. So today, I get paid for talking. And believe you me, I so love talking. And since I love talking, I don't feel I'm doing work at all. At times, me and Disha go on to a call at 9 o'clock in the night. We're talking and discussing at 9 in the night on a phone call. And at times she's so irritated that she will actually message me, and I can sense her irritation. Sir, I've tried you messaging 5 times. Can you please now tell me what time are we getting on our call? And Aditya is nodding because his message will not be seen for at least 3 days. And then all of a sudden I'll come into picture and say, oh my God, okay, I have to talk to you. Okay. All right. So Anjali, coming back to you, and one more round and we are done, guys. One more round and we are quickly done. 10 minutes, I'll let you go. Anjali, okay, let me just finish about the SAT. And then I want to come to you about Huron. I want to take certain examples from your own university and tell us how it is fitting in whatever I'm saying. So ladies and gentlemen, the question, the biggest question right now after the change in SAT and the discontinuation of SAT subject tests is, should we actually need to take the SAT also or not? The answer to this is a yes with a capital Y, because this exam is accepted in 36 plus universities in India. So you do not need to write their individual entrances. It increases your chances of confirmed admission globally, whether it is Canada or whether it is UK. Even if the university does not want an SAT, you should still give it and quote it, because it increases your profile. It adds to your academic profile. It definitely increases your chances for scholarships. And even those universities who do not want it, value it. एक चीज मेरी समझिएगा, and I will not ask Anjali to jump in because she might just counter it. This is purely as a career counselor, I'm telling you. Whenever we see a university's website and it mentions that these are the minimum eligibility criteria to apply to the university, remember, these are minimum eligibility criteria to apply, not to get admission. So for you to get admission, you have to give something more than that. And if there are some students out here who want scholarship, then you need to definitely give much more than that to get scholarship. ऐसे ही दिशा पृथ्वी को scholarship नहीं मिला है. She has worked for 3 years to get a scholarship. So you need to understand, she has not given what University of Toronto asked. She has given something much more and bigger and larger and deeper than what University of Toronto needs. And that's why University of Toronto is saying, hey buddy, I don't want you to go anywhere. I am ready to reduce your cost. Can you please, for heaven's sake, join us? That's the feeling I get when I get a scholarship letter. Just that they are not verbatim saying it. Okay? That's the feeling. So, Anjali, coming back to you, let's take Huron's example. Huron at Western Canada, people have listened to me about it. It's very close to my heart. I know I have taken a promise from you that please ensure that my child gets admission. I can definitely afford it. But please ensure, and you said that it depends on the child, Abhishek, not on my friendship. I really respect that. But what is the kind of, when I say liberal education, you need to combine degrees, what do we get at Huron? Do we get combination? Let's say if tomorrow, because Archita, I was happy, having a word with her, and I told her that I'll arrange a meeting with Archita, with Anjali, between you both. So this is for Archita and every student who is like Archita, who wants to explore life, combine education. So question specifically for kids like her. What can they do in the first year that is so different in a liberal education university?
Okay, first things first, I don't want to jump on the SATs though. So all students who are coming from India or any part of the world with a US curriculum, SAT is mandatory for them, by the way. Okay, and we also give credits, university credits, to those students who have done well in their AP. So if you're getting a score of 4 or 5, you will get a credit at the university too. So it's not that I say, I'm just talking generally that Canadian institutions, excepting those institutions that if you're going to Quebec region will ask for SATs, but most of the Canadian institutions will not ask for it. But yes, you're right. When any university, Huron or otherwise, around the globe mentions their minimum admission requirement, as the word suggests, it's the minimum, okay? You can give them the maximum also. So you can give them more. In fact, that is what they're looking at. And if I can give you the insight into students that we get from Canada, we reject 9 out of 10 applications that we get. We take only 1 out of them. Reason is not because they're not eligible, is because we are looking for a select profile, of a student that we are. Talking about combination, as you spoke, we have a very open curriculum system, so students choose a faculty of either business or liberal arts, okay? And within that faculty, they can combine courses as per their interest. You can even combine it with sciences. So please go ahead. If you like psychology with economics, take that. If you like psychology with biology, take that. The degree that you'll finally get is either a BA or a BSc, depending on if you've combined it with a science program. That's how it is. You like photography with economics, please go ahead. In fact, if I could talk a little bit about our alumni, the editor at large at Bloomberg TV is a Huron graduate. The producer and director of MTV Canada is a Huron graduate. The senior VP of Walt Disney Company is a Huron graduate. So we have people in media and communications also. So that's right. But combine the degrees. That's how we define it. We do not want to limit our students to any particular program. The more diverse your programs are, the better are your chances in employability. And please do not think that your degree will define the industry that you will get in. We have students who've studied philosophy and psychology and are working as data scientists. We have students who've done economics and are working as head of industry at Google. We have students who studied English and cultural studies and decided to open the biggest startup fintech company called Well Simple. It's among the top 100 fintech companies. So it doesn't define, it's your experience at the university which will define what kind of career you'll get in.
Right. Anjali, one more question before I have another 2-3 slides. I am done, and one round of questions and messages from you, all of you, to the students at large. The question is that let's say, because on the screen I have Aditya and I have Archita and I have Disha. Let's say that, these guys are sitting already on, confirmed offer letters. And they possibly, because Huron does not, market itself, it is all by word of mouth, very selective. You handpick students. I still remember your initial conversation with me that if the child will land in Canada, there is a team that will come and pick up the child from the airport, and that's where the party begins. And yesterday I was mentioning it to Aditya because he has an offer letter from UK, and while I researched more about Huron, I see him to be a perfect fit for somebody who is more hands-on, less academic, more hands-on, less academic. That's the kind of person Aditya is. So please explain, how would a hands-on experience versus academics work? What is the grading structure? This is important even for kids like Archita who wants that real life feel. They don't want to be succumbed to books. They want to experience life.
So, one thing I always tell students is find the right fit for yourself. Okay. If you think that, don't go by the name of the university, don't go by what your friends are doing. I know there is a lot of peer pressure, but research about the university and try finding the right fit. If I talk about Huron, we don't like our students to be in the class always. In fact, most of the students would probably be attending university only thrice a week. Majority of the times they're outside of class. We very strongly believe in paid internships. So we guarantee 100% paid internships to every single student of our university, primarily because, like you said, we handpick a very selective cohort that we have. We know every single student, not just by their name, but also what their passion is. So they have their first round of interaction with not just the academic advisor who will help them design their, degree of 4 years of how they wish to, understand or university education. What do they want? They will also have their first round of interviews with the career development team. So this happens right in the month of June, even before they have landed at the university, and then of course in person when they reach the university. The idea is because we believe every child is unique, they have unique interests. So you can't make a fit all curriculum. So even when we offer research to students or we offer jobs to students, it is as per their interest. So whichever industry they want to work in, we will build their profile at the university. And that's how we handhold, provide mentorship, not just of the professors, but also of the industry people, which is why we have a very distinguished alumni, that we talk about. So all these students, Aditya, congratulations on getting the offer. Again, like I said, get spoiled for choice and then make a decision of what you want to, where you want to go and what you want to do. Ask the right questions from the admissions officers. That's what they're there for. And then understand what is it that you want to study. We even allow students to change their major and minor until after first year. So they've studied something till first year and then they decide, oh, my God, this is not for me. Go ahead, tell your academic advisor, sorry, no more interested. To the extent that when they're even doing their timetables, you can choose the professor you want to study under, you can choose the timing that you want to attend that particular class. I'm not a morning person, so I would probably choose a 10 o'clock class rather than an 8 o'clock or even in the evening. And the whole idea is that you should enjoy your university experience and not be in a huge class size of 300, sometimes even above 1,000 students, so that you make the best of whatever you wish to achieve at the university. I hope I answered that question.
Super. Okay. You still dodged one of my question.
Okay, which was, sorry.
plain and simple in percentage terms. Let's say if Disha, Aditya, Archita, or hundreds of students who are listening to us right now, and this is specifically for the kids who are in grade 12. Ladies and gentlemen, if your child is in grade 12 right now and passing out of grade 12 this year, this question is very important for you to listen to. The answer is also going to be very, very important. Whether or not your child has an offer right now, get spoiled for choices. That's what Anjali Anand says. So get spoiled for choices. My suggestion to all of you, on behalf of the hundreds and thousands of students who follow me, respect me, attend my lives, is go out there. Tonight is the time when you should actually go out there, search a website of the universities you like. I personally like Huron, the way they structure their program, the way they do it, because they pick only 50 from India, because they guarantee paid internships. And that's the reason why, top 60 companies in Canada have at least have one Huron graduate in their C-suite, whether CTO, CEO, CXO. That's the reason why it is the way it is. So go out there, research about Huron website. There is, I think, a link by which you can book a meeting with Anjali Anand Seth. Do tell them that you got to know from this webinar, so that she's aware what was the context of the conversation. But this should be done only and only by the students of grade 12 who are passing out this year. Anjali is a busy person. Please respect her professional time. So do that only and only when you are interested to apply to colleges this year, not otherwise. Anjali, academic versus non-academic, what is the percentage that you look at? So we focus 20% academics, 80% non-academics, or vice versa. Criteria kya hai?
So initial admission is granted on the basis of academic, your grade 10, as well as your predicted scores. Okay. I am not looking at grade 9 and 11 per se, unless of course, so this is more technical knowledge, unless of course you've not particularly done in grade 12, but because your pre-boards didn't go well, etc. My sense is a 3-hour exam cannot define you as a student, especially those who have a CBSE curriculum. So 3-hour exam once a year cannot define you as a student. I'm looking at a minimum of, if I put it in percentages, a student coming from national curriculum, I'm looking at a minimum entrance average is 82%, all 5 subjects, English and 4. However, do remember that Huron has one of the highest entering admission averages amongst the most elite institutions in Canada. Okay, so 82 is the minimum that I'm looking at. We offer, admission to, of course, students who've done academically well, but non-academic also is something that I'm going to look at. But non-academic I will look at when I'm looking at offering you scholarships. So academic plus your co-curricular profile will help you get pretty good scholarships.
So if we make Disha Pruthi apply, will she be able to apply for your international presidential scholarship of $100,000?
So the criteria for international, so we offer 3 different kind of scholarships. One, of course, is academic, just purely on your academics. Second is supplementary scholarship, which is also based on your co-curricular. So if you think you did not get too good a scholarship based on academic, apply for a supplementary application, which is on your co-curricular. Again, we are one of the very few universities who give scholarships on your extracurricular activities. Okay. Third, of course, is the International Presidential Scholarship. That's a separate form. Your school needs to nominate you for it. And it requires a very high percentage, as in at least a 91% average or above, and very extensive co-curricular profile.
So we have Disha Pruthi, who is a strong candidate. And maybe next year we'll have Archita, who will be a very strong candidate for International Presidential Scholarship.
The deadline is February 12th for International Presidential Scholarship. They need to put an initial application and then make the International Presidential Scholarship. And I like to correct you there. past 2 years, 3 students from India have been receiving it. However, we haven't capped as to how many students can receive it from one country. It's a global award that we give, and we choose only 10 students from across the globe. But Indian students are the highest numbers that we give out. So there's no cap. Maybe this year 3, maybe 5, maybe all 10 can come from India. I'll be happy.
Very good. Thank you so much. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, this is one opportunity which I was about to tell you. Before I go into this and explain you what I'm talking about, I want you to understand what Anjali said. Academics are important. I want you to understand what Archita said, that while you are focusing on academics, passion is important. I want you to understand what Aditya said, that why would you wait for your 12th to get over before you plan your career? Why would you be in no man's land? I want you to understand what Disha said. Time management is so critical. All 4 of them gave you such phenomenal tips that you should be able to plan your 2021 better. And that was the agenda. Now, for everybody, like I said in my previous slide, that if it is about SAT, you should definitely take it. If it is about career counseling, as long as you understand that you hire a cricket coach, you hire a badminton coach, you hire a swimming coach, you hire a maths coach for that stupid exam that we pass in midterms. Why won't you hire the services of a career coach? It need not be me. It could be somebody in your family. It could be somebody who is around. It could be somebody in your city. But find yourself. 99% of my students come outside Gurgaon. But you will be able to find one you will be able to relate to. So if you are looking at, let's say, getting in touch with me, if you're looking at taking the SAT prep from us, there is a form which is coming into your chat right now. My team will fill it and you will be able to just fill that form and my team will get in touch with you. Please remember there is a question out there which says, please fill the form only when you want a call. We do not want to, invade into your privacy. Please fill the form only when you want to get a call. So that's why it says that if you're filling it, you know that you want to get a call. If you do not want to, please avoid filling up the form. It is no use you filling up the form and be calling up and you not taking the calls and you not responding back. It just is a waste of time and effort. So do that. Okay. The 2 opportunities. So all of us, we were here talking about the big word. If I've forgotten, I'll repeat once again, the big word, the big gray word called profile. Banti kaise hai? How do you make a profile? So generally, there are multiple ways. It can be through leadership skills, like Disha has showed by becoming the vice president of our student council. It could be through leadership skills, which Aditya showed by managing and commanding a team which was about to organize the TEDx. Unfortunately, COVID was set in. It could be through passion, like Archita is doing by formulating her own Instagram page on photography, by trying to raise funds through her photography for the causes. It could be through academics. It could be through internships. So now I'm giving you 2 great opportunities. It could be through competitions. One is you can participate. If you are a grade 11 and 12 student, you can participate in an Earth Day competition brought to you by University of Bristol, which is one of the finest universities in the world and definitely in UK, and in association with High School Moms. No charges. Remember, it is a free competition. No charges. You just need to go to our Instagram handle called highschoolmoms.community. Click on the link in the bio. It will open a set of 5 links. Possibly the second or the third link says participate in the Earth Day competition by University of Bristol. You have to do nothing. You just have to click on it, fill up the form. There will be an email sent to you from my team which will tell you what to do. Basically, what you need to do is make a 2 to 3 minute video on a problem that you see on Mother Earth right now and what is your solution for it. And if you get selected, you might be studying in UK. You might be studying with University of Bristol with scholarship. And everybody who participates will get a certificate, and that's how you build your profile. Second opportunity that we are bringing is High School Moms, in association with International Alliance of Counselors and Educators, in February will launch India's biggest research-based high school students internship, where we will ask students, we will train them, universities will come forward and train them on across various sessions on various things. We'll give them certificates. Winners will get cash prizes, awards, laptops, mobiles, iPads, and they will also be able to get that one item on their resume and curriculum vitae, which is so-called profile, which will get them the scholarship at Huron, which will possibly get them scholarship at other universities, which will get them admissions. Now, the news and the announcement for this will be made sometime in the middle of February. It will be posted across our Instagram handle. So you need to be there on our Instagram. We are also there on Facebook. Now, another news for everybody who is there in Mumbai. I am going to be in Mumbai along with Anjali Anand Seth from Huron, meeting parents and students in person. Yes, it's the COVID era. That's why we have hired the services of a 5-star. Yes, we cannot accommodate hundreds of you, but we wanted to meet you in person. So during the day on January 31st, we have broken the slots into 3, 10 to 1, 1:30 to 3 or about, and about 3 to 4:30, 3 slots near about. And we are only allowing 30 people per slot, I think 25 per slot, in a hall which can accommodate about 100 plus. So there'll be enough social distancing, there'll be enough safety protocols that will be followed. Please remember, if I am at risk and if Anjali is at risk, so are you. As long as we are safe, as long as we maintain distances, there is no problem. My evening slot is completely booked. I will not be able to take any more registrations there. Only 2 slots that are available are the morning and the afternoon. If possible, I'll definitely try and treat you for a coffee as well at Taj. But what you have to do is, again, go to the Instagram handle of highschoolmoms.com and click on the link in the bio. Or my team is now circulating the second form. The second form that is coming is for you to register to meet me in person. If you are there in Mumbai, you can meet me in person and ask your questions and listen to me and ask your queries, but per invite only 2 people will be allowed. So while you fill up the form, can I request my team to put the form again and mention it that it is Mumbai Meet form. So please fill up this form. Once you fill up this form, we'll get your registration. Once we get the registration, we'll select handful of students because we cannot go beyond 25 per slot. And only those who are selected will get a QR code and an invitation mail. You just have to bring it on your mobile and our team will help you on January 31st. So if you are there in Mumbai, but this is only open for grade 11 and 12 students. If you are in grade 10, please feel free to apply. If we have certain seats, we'll definitely like to have you. But otherwise, it is only for grade 11 and 12. For people who are asking me to come to Bhopal and other places, I'll definitely try and come this year. I promise you that. Okay, now follow us on High School Moms Instagram handle. It is called highschoolmoms.community. Follow me on Abhishek Gupta's Instagram handle. I'm not too active, but you can follow it. It's called abhishekgupta.coach. Follow Archita Goyal's Instagram handle called Merak by Archita. She is a great photographer. Let's make this girl successful by becoming, all of us should become her followers. And follow Huron at Western for recent updates. Before I call it a day, I will request my team again to put both the forms again in the chat and stop the chat for 2 minutes so that only the forms are there. Both the forms there, and let's stop the chat then. One last piece of advice from each one of you, and this time we'll start with again Disha Pruthi. Disha, your parting words for all the juniors who are listening to you, beta, something that will really help them plan 2021.
Okay, so look for your passions. Make your passions what you want to do as your career. Like Archita put it so beautifully, seek happiness. That should be your goal. When you're happy, nothing will seem too burdening, too pressurizing, and you'll enjoy life. So enjoy life.
Enjoy life. That's what Disha Pruthi says. Thank you, Disha. So many congratulations to you. I'm so proud of you that you are my student. You're more of a daughter than a student. Congratulations for your offer letter, beta. Let the problem of plenty keep on happening, and then we will do ini mini mina mo. Okay, we will do that.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, beta. Aditya, your parting words, beta.
So my parting words would be that I don't want any of you, including parents and students, to think of this as another burden, to think of this as another stressing factor to your career, to the place that you want to be to. Think of it as a journey. Think of it as a path that does not have an end until you reach your final goal.
Think of it as a journey. Enjoy the journey, not the destination. That's what Aditya Mehta says. Ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it? That's a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid who is making such a strong statement. Congratulations on the multiple offer letters you have, Aditya. I am so proud of you. I can't be happier. I've seen you over the last 2 years, beta, and I'm so missing not seeing you guys in person. I will definitely hope for a day that we actually meet in person and celebrate this. Thank you. Archita, your parting words, beta.
I would just again want to say, do what you love and have fun doing it. Like, don't let anything get to you. Just enjoy what you're doing and have fun.
Enjoy what you do and have fun. Ladies and gentlemen, a budding photographer, maybe a budding economist and photographer, Archita Goyal, right there in front of you. Anjali Anand Seth from Huron at Western. Your parting words, please.
I think I'm going to echo the same sentiment here. Just pursue your passion. I think that will take you far. You are preparing for, multiple careers, not just one career that your parents probably did and retired from. Like I said in my previous webinars, data suggests you're going to change 4 careers even before you decide which career is finally going to be for you. And Abhishek, I'm going to take this opportunity to make an announcement that I was planning to make subsequently next week or there, but I'm going to use your platform to do that. And this is for all students coming from a national curriculum, CBSE or ISC or state board. If they apply to Huron and they get an acceptance letter, and they accept their offer before the deadline of May 1st that we give out to all students, we will convert their offer letter, which is going to be conditional, into a final offer letter even before they take their board exams or get their results.
That is so thoughtful, Anjali. For kids who have their boards postponed till May and June, this will be such a big breather. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are from a nationalized curriculum, CBSE, ICSE, HSCs or state boards, if you apply to Huron and if you get selected, it's a big if you get selected, you will have a confirmed offer letter in case if you accept it, instead of a conditional offer letter, which means that tonight is the night when all the 12th standard kids who are passing out of high school this year have to go to Huron website and apply to Huron. If you have not applied to any other universities in Ontario, if you have applied to any other universities in Ontario, then go to your OUSC form and add another university, Huron at Western Canada, and maybe you will have a confirmed offer letter. Thank you so much, everybody. Anjali, Archita, Aditya, Disha, for this wonderful session. I'm so proud of all 3 of you. And Anjali, I'm so thankful to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2 forms are right there in front of you. If you are interested in taking SAT preparations with us or career counseling with me, please go ahead and fill the form. Please fill it only when you're interested. If you are interested in meeting me, and if you're around from Mumbai and Pune, and you want to meet me in person in Mumbai this January 31st, there is a form right there in front of you. I will be joined by Huron at Western, represented by Anjali Anand Seth, one of the dearest friends I have in the industry, and somebody I really look up to for advice, and she's more of a mentor than a friend. So I'll see you there in Mumbai. Until then, follow us on highschoolmoms.community on Instagram. Follow us on abhishekgupta.coach on Instagram. Join us for the Earth Day competition profile building activity by University of Bristol, and make the High School Moms and International Alliance of Counselors and Educators internship, which will be there for grade 10, 11 and 12, open to all students across grade 10, 11 and 12, irrespective of their boards, irrespective of their cities they come from. An internship which will help you with a certificate, learning, workshops, a 21-day period which will end up making profile for you. With that, I'll call it a day. If you like the session, if you are listening to me, if my voice is reaching to your heart, if the voice of Disha, Aditya, Archita has reached to your hearts and they have resonated with you, just type in once again, YAY for all the 3 kids who are there on the panel right now. Let the chat not stop. Tell them that you loved it. Give them a big YAY on the chat. Thank you so very much. Take care. Have a great weekend. Whatever is left for it, make the most out of it. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your career. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Just hold on. Let me just stop the... Okay, let me just stop the broadcast. Okay, I think broadcast cannot be stopped, so we will take a quick group photograph. And smile and look into your cameras, otherwise it becomes really weird. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you, Anjali. Thank you, Archita. Aditya, thank you. Disha, thank you so much, beta.
Thank you. Bye. And good luck to all of you guys. You guys are doing phenomenal work. Bye. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.